I'm happy, thank you. I'm happy.
The kid does it once again. He's now 6-0 in the UFC. He's 16-0 as a pro. Tatsuro Taira gets Alex Perez out of there in the second round. A little bit of a controversial ending. If you don't really know what you're watching in there, you guys can give me your thoughts. You could be honest with me, but I did see a lot of people online not giving the credit that was due to Tatsuro Taira for the performance that he displayed out there last night. I would even say Tatsuro Taira didn't give himself enough credit for what he did. Everybody's talking about the injury that Alex Perez sustained in the second round as it was just an absolute fluke. And the humbleness of Tatsuro Taira, he plays right into that, just kind of referring to it as a fluke injury or an unfortunate situation. Are you kidding me? Take a look at my man behind me right now. Okay, this dude was hanging off the side of his back using a ridiculous amount of body control, wiggling around like a worm, trying to make it to the mud, all right, as he's stuck in a hot brick on a sunny day. I mean, this dude was really implementing some tactics that I haven't even seen implemented in the octagon, at least not in a long time. I mean, I've seen some guys get a little wild there in the back, but you got to give credit where it's due. I think that Tatsuro Taira played a major role in that injury occurring, okay? And even if he doesn't get that injury, I feel Tatsuro Taira is going to get him out of there within a minute. And that's one thing that Tatsuro Taira said himself. He said, give him one more minute and he would have found the submission. I think he would have found the rear naked choke there. Maybe that was one point in time in the interview where he wasn't being completely humble and being a little bit honest about how he felt. I say that now puts him in a situation where he is one fight away from fighting for the belt, okay? And you could even potentially argue that he's next in line, but I would say that the winner of Muhammad Mokaev and Manil Kape is the winner of that fight. They will be next in line to fight for the belt, especially in regards to Manil Kape. I think that he's a fighter that's really deserving of fighting for the belt. Had a couple losses in the UFC early on in his career, some split decision losses against some of the top fighters in the division, one being the champion himself right now. And Muhammad Mokaev, also another undefeated young buck. But as I've been continuously saying, I am higher on Tatsuro Taira than Muhammad Mokaev. I would take Taira over Mokaev any day. Right now, Taira is ranked 13th in the UFC's flyweight rankings. That is going to completely change here in just hours as they update these rankings in the beginning of the week. Taira is going to pass up Tager Ulanbekov, who couldn't even make weight. He's passing up my boy Schnell, Elliott, Urseg, Nicolau. He's going to be somewhere in the mix right over here. Alex Perez obviously will be taking a drop down, and then you still have Mokaev and Kape right up there. He's going to be somewhere in the top 7, top 6. Okay, so it's a huge victory for him. The buzz he has behind him is going to give him that quick jump to a title shot as well. But I say that he is one fight away from fighting for the belt. So he's going to have to get maybe one more victory, maybe over an Amir Albalzi. That would be a nice fight there. And you take a look right now, Albalzi still not matched up with anybody. Of course, Royval and Moreno, still huge names in the division. Maybe Royval is even the next opponent for Taira. That's a fight that you could do as well. Royval bouncing back with the victory over Moreno after the failed attempt at the belt in Pantoja. So these are the names that we're talking about right now, but I'm super excited with what's going on in this division. Let me also mention Taira caps off the clean sweep on the card. We had 2 targeted plays. We capitalized on both of them. In the co-main event, we hit Miles Johns, caught him at -125, threw 3 units on him. And then we also hit a 5-unit banger, caught Taira at -180 earlier on in the week. So a nice in and out of the office, a little miniature clean sweep. We didn't pull out the huge broomstick, more of like the little handheld dustpan, a little clean sweep. We hit him up and then we headed out. We'll head over to the press conference in 1 second, see what this youngster was talking about. But just real quick, let me let you guys know we are powered by BETUS. Make an account through the link in the description of this video. You're going to get a 125% match on your first 3 deposits with BETUS. Nobody is doing the deposit matches like BETUS. There's just nothing out there that's even comparable. All right, guys? So please sign up through that link. If you do choose to sign up to BETUS, let me know so I can send you over an additional gift. Appreciate you guys there.
Big win. How are you feeling about the win? Obviously, it didn't. It was an injury finish, but how are you feeling?
メインベンターとしてここに来てやっぱりすごく自分自身気合が入ってて。
I came here to fight all 5 rounds, and I have a guts to fight all 5 rounds, and then but it's shame to that he got injured, but yeah, I'm happy with the guy win.
You see right there, that's the humbleness from the youngster. Maybe I want to see him be a little bit more cocky. Take a little credit for your part that you played in that injury occurring. Take a little bit more credit than that. But for all of you guys that like that nice, quiet, humble type of fighter, Taira does show to have a lot of that humbleness, as to be expected. Japanese mixed martial artists, a lot of them are very humble fighters, not the most arrogant and vocal. You're not going to really see any McGregor stuff coming from him, even though we talked about little glimpses of it. But this is a much more humble fighter.
You're more than likely going to enter the top 5 next Tuesday. I guess how does that make you feel? You know, only 6 fights in the UFC, a top 5 fighter.
I'm excited. 早くそのランキングの更新を見たいです。
I really want to see the update ranking.
There's a big fight between Manel Kopp and Mohamed Mokaev happening in a couple months. Do you think your win tonight made you log them, and maybe you can fight for the title next?
まあパントージャに年内挑戦したいなって思ってます。ただマネルとモカエフの勝者すごく興味あります。
I wanna fight against Pantoja this year, but actually I really want to see who's gonna win between Kev and Mokaev.
I mean, there you see the confidence in the young buck. He wants to face Pantoja by the end of the year. All right, we'll check your calendar because we're already halfway through the year. Okay, we got under 6 months left in this calendar year. So, I mean, he's already barking up this tree. He's looking to fight the champion of this division. He feels confident that he can go out there and take him. And after what I've been seeing from him through his last couple fights, even though he's just 24 years old, I'm starting to lean towards favoring him defeating Pantoja, okay? And you guys know I have a lot of respect for Pantoja. Pantoja's a very well-rounded fighter. I've been very high on him for a long time. Nasty jiu-jitsu. I mean, this guy, Pantoja has the heart of a lion. He's a stud fighter, but I could see Pantoja forcing some grappling situations and a dogfight, and I could see Taira actually getting the better of those jiu-jitsu scrambles. I mean, the way this dude snatches backs up, it's up there with the best I've ever seen. Okay, this dude's an absolute wizard. Kind of reminds me of Renan Barão back in the day when he was on all types of performance-enhancing drugs. The way he would snatch dudes' backs was ridiculous. I know it's going to feel like a little bit of a stretch for some of you guys, and there's probably some of you guys that actually think I'm crazy. I'm telling you, though, I'm actually leaning towards Taira getting the better of the champion Pantoja right now.
The UFC hasn't been to Japan in a minute. Do you think you're big enough, and that's the most big enough fight for the UFC to go to Japan against you versus Pantoja?
チャンピオンが誕生する場所として日本大会でやれたらめちゃくちゃ最高です。
I will be very happy if I can fight my title shot against the Pantoja in Japan and then be a first Japanese champion.
Is Taira's name big enough for him to be headlining a show, a major title fight show, potentially even in Japan? Are you kidding me? 100%. It will be, at the very least. Give him one more fight, and it definitely will be. His next fight is going to have an extreme amount of buzz around it. Give him another headline fight. He goes out there, he wins that. And then you start tapping in to the Japanese mixed martial arts market. And I'm speaking about the UFC. The UFC needs to step it up in regards to Asian mixed martial arts, and I know that they've been taking steps to do so. Of course, you have the road to UFC and all that, but you know ONE FC is dominating that market. How dope would it be to see the UFC have snatched up this young Japanese fighter who's an absolute stud? He starts going on a ridiculous winning streak. He becomes the champion of the world, and he's fighting over here in North America. He's fighting over in the States, right? For the most part, he's representing the UFC. I think that this would start to lead other fighters from the Asian mixed martial arts market kind of leaning towards joining the UFC. Because when it's all said and done, man, you guys know the UFC is the pinnacle of mixed martial arts. I don't care what any of you guys are talking about. And I know there's some great fighters fighting all around the world and for different promotions. The UFC is where it's at. The UFC is the major leagues. The UFC is the what Premier League is to soccer or football, if you guys call it football. The UFC is the NFL of football. It's the Major League Baseball of baseball. Okay, understand that. Okay, and we want to see the UFC step it up in that market. I'm speaking for us true UFC fans here. And yes, Taira, especially fighting over in Japan, Taira would have the whole world buzzing. I think he would actually start to become a superstar of this sport. I don't know. You guys tell me if you agree or if you disagree. I think that this kid has so much potential. I think that he could be a superstar. And it's not just the personality and the look. He has the fighting ability, okay? He's a fun fighter to watch. I think he is a great example of another new generation of mixed martial arts. When you see these, you know, a couple of years ago, they were all talking about, oh, this is the new generation of mixed martial arts. You're starting to see these young fighters come in and implement different types of styles and tactics in the cage. I think we're starting to see a little bit of that again.
Michael Vick here at BetUS.com. Get it all. Huge bonuses, great odds, a race book, live in-game betting, and a casino. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.
Now, I want to know what you guys think about what I'm talking about here. I want to know if you guys think I'm being a little bit over the top. Maybe I'm jumping the gun here. Let me know if you think Mokaev actually gets the better of Taira, or you think that the champion in Pantoja would absolutely expose Taira. I'm really curious what your guys' thoughts are. At the end of the day, though, I like to make it clear when I feel that the next big thing is on the horizon. And I've been talking about Taira for quite a bit, and we've done that with other fighters in the past, and we've been wrong and we've been right. Of course, we've had mixed results when we've gravitated to a fighter earlier on and had high expectations from him. But at the end of the day, it does make it more fun as we get to watch their careers progress. I think that Taira's grappling is the best in this division. I think his striking is looking stellar out there. He's long, he's rangy. The way he was throwing those uppercuts in there, I think it's going to give a lot of fighters problems in this division. If there was anything we could critique him about, is maybe defensively, he was there to be hit at times. But who's going to crack Taira in this division? Who's the big hitter in this division? There's not a lot of names that stand out when you think about the flyweight division that are going to go out there and starch this young, fresh chin of Taira's anytime soon. Maybe you could say Manil Cape. I mean, he throws some heat out there, but there's not a lot of big knockout artists in this division, which leads me towards Taira really putting in some work throughout these next years and dominating this division. So I appreciate you guys for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, you could expect these reaction videos coming out weekly. You could, of course, catch my full prediction videos every week. We're breaking down all the big-time cards. We're working on this upcoming weekend's PFL card. Okay, we're going to be getting PFL Tour cards coming at you guys left and right. Of course, we're breaking down every single UFC card. So you're going to definitely want to subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell, like this video, do all that. Catch me on all my social media. I'm on Instagram at MMA Fortune Teller _. I'm on Twitter at The MMA Teller. And you guys, I'll see you in the next one. Signing out. Teller.
Welcome to the show. This is the MMA Fortune Teller. Yeah.
The MMA Fortune Teller.
The teller.